Please excuse me for leaving you for a few minutes, but Minister Farrakhan came in and insisted that I go back with him to the holding room.
Are you ready? So for me to stand like I stand and speak with the authority that I speak with, fearing no man, because as long as I am with God and He's with me, I am the majority. So if God want me to deliver a message for Him, He has to show me His ability to protect me from the evil planning of my enemies that are black, that are white, that are Jews, that are Gentiles, that are Christians, that are Muslims, that are agnostics. Don't make no difference. I have enemies, but I have two great friends. So they make my enemies my footstool. And if you live and I live, you'll see my enemies bowing down at my feet. Remember what I said in Georgia today. Either I am or I am not. And if I am, you all better leave me alone. If I'm not, it don't make no difference. Your plans against me will be successful, but ain't nothing you planned against me been successful yet. So here I am, an unfurrowed brow, 72 years old, looking like some of you that are much younger than I am. Why did the Million Man March come off? 30 years ago, I read business community, business advisors. You know, they have these think tanks in America, and they send out advisories that later become policy. Well, there was an advisory a little over 30 years ago that said that rich people should not invest in the inner cities because we had just come through the riots and rebellions of the 60s and 70s, and they felt that the inner cities were going to implode. So a businessman would not be wise investing in an area where there's violence. There has to be peace in order to promote business. Remember in the riots in the 40s, when the Chinese had their stores in Harlem, and the riots hit, and the Chinese said, "Me nigga too"? I'm not being insulting to you, but they did have a sign like that. Because business, look, if I can identify with you and you raising hell, look, then leave my business alone. But some of us are so crazy, we burn everything. I mean, it's really silly. Burn up your own community. Then when the anger dies down, you got nothing. So business started leaving the inner cities, going to the suburbs. Business started leaving the suburbs, going to foreign cheap labor markets, leaving the poor white, the Hispanic, and the black in the inner cities in the lurch. White people more resourceful than us. So if there's no job for them, they go somewhere and create one. The Hispanic is more resourceful than you. Something wrong with us. Well, Farrakhan, now come on now, don't talk to us like, no. You're not inferior by nature, but we are inferior by circumstance. Irish people came here, we've been here. Irish came. People didn't like the Irish. So they united. Now they the police, they the mayor, they the senator. One even became president. And we still singing. We shall overcome. Italians came. They weren't liked. They got in their neighborhood, they united. They used America and the freedoms in America to advance themselves. The Polish did that. The Greeks did that. The Germans did that. The Europeans did that. But that's not just them. The Chinese did it. The Koreans did it. The Vietnamese did it. The Haitians came. And they did it. So you got to ask yourself, something wrong here? I've been here longer than all these people. $750 billion come through my hands every year, but I'm a consumer. I went to college to become a bigger consumer. I buy bigger cars, live in bigger homes, have bigger bills that I can't seem to pay. My credit card, I went to college to live on credit. I got a degree. It's a BS degree. No, Bachelor of Science, of course. But brothers and sisters, we have not taken advantage of what America offers. And you can't say it's because you're black. Because dark people from other parts of the world come and you see them open up a business, you see them trying to do business. But you go anywhere in the world, you go in the Caribbean, some of you go down there for vacation, right? Well, I'll talk for myself. I sometimes will take a little vacation in Jamaica, Trinidad, or Barbados, or someplace like that. You know the accent. But when I go, I see the people doing business, Chinese, Arab, Indian, white. A black man has a business here, a business there. It's like a person that have a tooth here and a tooth there. When they smile, don't it look bad? Well, a business here and a business there can't make us as a people look good. Now, as a people, now I want you to look at how simple this is. Here's a black bird. And here's a white bird. They're two different kind of birds. But the black bird don't know how to get a worm. So he's in line, waiting for the white bird to give the black bird a worm. Something wrong with that picture. Because everything that God creates, he puts on it and in it the nature to do something for itself. all creatures have to get for themselves but us. So if the white man don't give us education, we stay dumb. If he don't build a hospital, we stay sick. If he don't provide us with a job, we're unemployed. It's a shame, man. I went downtown. I just graduated from Savannah State. I knew I was more qualified than that white fellow who just got out of the 8th grade, but they gave him the job. Racist, that's what they are. See how silly you sound. The white man looking out for his own. What's wrong with you? See, that's why I'm here to talk to Georgia legislators, black mayors, black judges, black professionals. And I'm asking you a question. What are you doing for yourself and your people to help your people to be better than what they are? So when the businesses moved out of the inner cities, here we were, left. Well, I saw on the campus, I just got in the door. I just came on the campus, naval training. Saw an airplane up there. I said, damn. See, a young man, full of energy. He's aggressive. You know how all little children want to be fighters. I know I was stupid at one time too. I wanted to learn, throw that shoulder up, fire that jab, fire that. I wanted to learn how to do those things. Because in the hood, you got to know how to thump or talk a good game. But in the days when I was growing up, they had little switchblade. And all of us went to the store, found me press a little button and the blade come out. Oh, that was nice. But you didn't ever want to use it. So if a fight came, the last thing you reach for is what's in your pocket. You got your butt whipped, well, that was the end of that. You all became friends after that. Young men have aggressive tendencies. Girls, you playing double dutch and playing with the the little dolls and having a little this and that. But boys, the Quran saying the man is not like the female. And that seems so elementary, my dear Watson, on the surface. But a man is different. So when you see young men growing, you got to have something to do to channel the aggression. In finer white neighborhoods, when the boy gets 11, 12, when he's in the Jewish faith, he's bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah for the girls. They got something for them. They go to a Jewish school where they learn something about their culture, their history. That's how they survive in a hostile environment. You go to the Greeks, they have a church, they have a school. You go to the white Baptists, they have a church, they have a school. We built churches. Let's have church, but no school. So you send your children to what they call, quote unquote, the public school. Okay, we'll get to that later. But my point is, if a young man does not have a police athletic league, something to channel the aggression. Come on, we'll go to the boxing club. Here's a softball. We'll play softball. We'll play baseball. Let's play basketball. And divide the neighborhood up into teams, and we all cheer for our team. It's football. It's something where you channel the aggression. But in the hood, when the business go out, the money go out. And young people are there with nothing to do, and they're not joining the army. Right now, the volunteer army is down. So while you're in high school raising hell, somebody's there to kind of say, well, look, we got something good for you. See, you can go to college, we'll pay for your college, and we'll even give you a bonus, you know what I mean? Come this way. All this is to get you either to join the armed forces where you can be all that you can never be. So they got a soldier. Now you're in Iraq. I don't understand this. The National Guard should guard the nation. That's what the National Guard is for. The reserves stand by. The regular army does the fighting. But in Iraq, it's the National Guard. Well, who's guarding the nation while the National Guard is in Iraq? The National Guard is in Afghanistan. Something is wrong with this picture. And if you get your head out of your crotch, you will see that something is happening to America. And I'm talking now to white people as well as black people. You are losing your country. 30 years ago, a little over that, I was at a convention of black sociologists. I was the main speaker, and I had read in the newspaper that the birth rate of blacks was very high. We have a gun that really shoots. And it seemed like the target we always hit. And so we have a lot of babies. So birth control, they bring to you. Take the pill. I'll put something in, and don't worry, it'll send a signal. But you don't see the after effect. But they don't want to see no more black babies. So between 21 and 35, everybody's doing something to stop from having babies. But they put so much hormones in the chicken, in the pork, in the beef, in the lambs, so the children are eating these hormones. So at 9 years old, the little girl has a period. She got a Barbie doll in one hand, a mini sanitary napkin in the other, her breast bigger than her mama. 10 and 11, her hips is gone. Scared of mama. Mama got to go to work, but the black man ain't got no job. So he watching your daughter coming home from school. See, 9, 10, 11, 12, pregnant now. No such thing as marriage anymore. What marriage is for fools? You don't make no commitment with all these women and these few men. Hell no, we don't make a commitment. We just have fun. So we are so degenerate today that we're having baby, but nobody wants to accept the responsibility. So the responsibility is on the state. Responsibility is on the government. So white folks in the legislature, white folks in Congress saying, damn, you know, this is a shame. They don't say this to your face, but they say, isn't there something y'all can do? These children are children having babies out of wedlock. Yeah, there's a scripture in the Bible, though, white folks, that says, you reap what you sow. You didn't allow us to marry for 300 years. When we were slaves, you sent us into our women because we were studs to produce more slaves for you. Well, you were breaking down our morals as you were doing this. You were making us disrespect the value of the womb. You were making us see pleasure more than responsibility. So today it's all about pleasure, it's not about responsibility. So you're creating hate for yourself in high places. I'm coming to something. I'm coming to something. You were having babies, but white people, they were at zero population growth. For every white person that was born, one died. So you had a smaller white youth population, a greater white elderly population, and that's when gray power and AARP came into business. But on the other hand, you have many children growing up, many young men growing up, no way to stave off their aggressive tendencies. They weren't joining the armed forces, those that didn't. They weren't going to church. They in the street praying on your young daughter, not praying for her, praying on her. And then most of you, my sisters, have bad experience with men. Let's look at our condition. I'm going to say this as a predicate for the Million Man March. You married. We spent all this money going down the aisle to lie. Ask somebody to come and buy a gift. I'll buy you an iron. Somebody buy you the ironing board. Somebody do this. 6 months later, we don't know where the hell the iron is. Oh yeah, she hit him in the head with the iron. Now she's doing time. He's dead. This is madness going on in all our communities. And there are white folk watching.
Teach us, teach us, teach us.
Then out of the ghetto condition.
Yes.
Now watch this. You're in a lot of pain. See, and people got to do something when they're in pain. You have a headache? Oh, come on, here. Bring her Advil. Bring him a bear. But damn, my headache is worse than that. Bring me a Vicodin. Bring me a Percocet. My headache worse than that. In comes drugs.
Oh, yes. Correct.
Crack cocaine. Now, when you experience crack, some of you in the Georgia legislature high, you know what I'm talking about. Some of you elected officials in so damn much pain, when you get out, you can't help but get drunk. What am I talking about? See, you the leaders and you can't handle this thing. Preachers snorting coke. Am I lying? So we're all in pain. Corporate pain, legislative pain, sheriff pain, woman pain because she can't find a man. She just dropped that one yesterday in a new romance. He turned out to be the same thing that she just left. So either she find another woman to go with, or she's in McDonald's loving it. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean in just a minute. See, but it ain't white people, it's your fear. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said we drank the milk of fear from our mother's breasts. See, during slavery, she pregnant with us, they lynch somebody, make everybody come and look. Burn them right here in Savannah. Kill them, and you got to come look. Why are you terrified? See, that's a chemical reaction coming from the fear of the brain. It produces a chemical reaction that go right into the breast, into the milk. So the baby drinks the milk of fear. Now he's scratching and he ain't itching. White folk come around, his conversation stop. And he playing you white people. Yes, sir. Yeah. What you want, boss? Yes, sir. I'll be right there, sir. Yes, sir. See, you're all stupid as hell. You like that because you feel you should be the master because you white. These is your little black slaves. So act like it, nigga. So the black people put the game on. Put it on. Ben won't even look at you sometime. Yes, sir. I do it right now, sir. But I'm telling you, God damn it, stand up like a man and stand up like a man. Don't bend your back no more. If you're a man, then be a man. Ooh, did you hear that cuss word? Oh my God, he's not a minister. I'm going to write that right down. Yeah, I said, God damn it. You know what God means, force and power. Damn it means stop it. God damn it, stop it. We've gone all the way back to step and fetch it now. They call it sitcoms. I'll get to that in a minute. Now look, a movie come out, Colors. Did you see the movie Colors? Here's some of us that have been victimized because of our color. Now some of us wear red, the wrong color if you blue. Some of us wear blue. Now we're killing each other because the brother over here don't have on the right color.
Right. Teachers.
That's madness. Teachers. But you don't manufacture guns. How did you get them? Who brought them in? They're so easy to get right now. Just like when I was young, we knew where to go to get a reefer. I went a few times. Well, I have to keep it real. I'm not like one of these presidents. Yes, but I didn't inhale. Yes, I did inhale. And I got high. But I didn't like it. I wanted to be in control of myself. I didn't like being out of control. So I threw the reefer down. I got drunk a few times. But every time I got drunk and laid down, the bed started turning. And I ended up throwing up. Then my mother knew what I was doing because you could smell it coming up. Then I got my butt beat and all of that, so I leave liquor alone. All right. But when they saw the possibility of us outnumbering them, getting the right to vote, then that means you can become politically powerful without ever becoming like a revolutionary to the point where you would pick up a gun and fight them. You didn't have to do that just by your numbers. And if your numbers ever became wise as they became great in numbers, then they feared that you would take the country. Now, white folk are different. You know, when they see something like that, they don't talk about it, they do something about it. So if you notice your population doing this, Hispanic population doing this, and then they tell you, see, you are now the second largest minority in the country. And you feel, damn, see these Mexicans taking my place. I used to be the largest. Now they put two poor people to fighting each other. So out on the West Coast, you find the Mexican gangs fighting the black gangs fighting the Mexican gangs. So we just went out there and were blessed to get the hardest gangs that have never been to the table to sit down. And they made peace. But I warned them that among them are agents. Among us, they're agents. Among you in the legislature, they're agents. People that just come among you, listen to what you say and go back and report. You wonder how come all your little plans are known. If they don't have a snitch in there, they bug the hell out your office. They got all these kind of devices, man. Got cameras on you. You can't even go to the toilet. They watch you. God knows what you do in the bed. They got that too. And when you look like you're about to make trouble, they say, Bill Cosby, come in here a minute. Here's a man that groped a woman, they say, 30 years ago. It took that long for her nervous system to process where the hand was. 30 years later, she got the, oh, damn! Bill Cosby's a good man. I understand Michael Dyson. I love him. He's my brother. I love Bill Cosby. He's my brother too. He's older than Mike Dyson. He's a senior. He's paid some dues. And we're all evolving. He may have said at one time that he's not a spokesperson for the hurt of his people. You know, don't bring that to me. He speaks through a different medium. He's the Cosbys. He's trying to show us with functional families rather than dysfunctional families. And he has some control over the script, and so he writes things in. He has Malcolm's picture behind him in some of the scenes. He's trying to do his part where he is, but he don't want nobody to make him a spokesperson, because then you hurt his reality. He got to play ball with who he playing ball with in order to stay on the TV, make the money so he can funnel some money to Fisk and funnel some money to the historically black colleges and universities. So I don't fault any of us like that. He was speaking to black people like I'm speaking to you, but the press is here. I don't know what they're going to write tomorrow. I haven't got no control over your pen, so you going to write what you planning to write. Farrakhan came and he cussed. Farrakhan came. Farrakhan this, Farrakhan, he's a real anti-something. I want the press to know I've never been an anti-Semite. I don't hate the Jewish people. I never have. I'm an admirer of the Jewish people because they lead in every field of human endeavor. Without Jewish science and Jewish technology, Jewish medicine, I mean, they've advanced their fields. I don't have any problem with that. Here's what I have a problem with. I have a problem with exercise of control and limits. I don't believe that nobody should limit me but God and my own ability. So some of these legislators, I got to say it, brothers, even some preachers, some leaders, some educators, They're very careful how they speak. They're not free.
Say it.
You're free to write whatever you want to write about anybody in your paper.
That's right.
But I'm not free to criticize. I pay a price for that. If I criticize Jews, I'm anti-Semitic. But the Jews are not sacrosanct, that they're above critical analysis. Don't get upset with me, because I see you. It ain't about hate. It's about the freedom of a people that cannot rise if you sitting on them. And you cannot rise if you allow somebody to sit on you and determine how high you can go. You got to stop that. And when you rise up and say, we're not going for this, then it'll end. And that's why some of you, here come the dean.